pretend that I don't care.
Look, I do care, but I don't care. My phone is always on me, but I'm not there. Notified, but it always coincides with something that overrides. On the grind over time, nobody gets no reply. That's bona fide, no disrespect. Screens always lighting up like a cigarette. I save my writing for the symphonette. Here's the thing.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, boy.
You're not my problem.
Look.
But you got issues.
Hey.
Don't call me.
You said I should have texted you more often. If I would have wanted you to care. But can't you see that I have been busy trying to pretend that I don't care?
Why do you think this is? What you say doesn't match up with how you're leaving me on red and how you never pick up the number between the girls on your phone. So you got a pretty high Candy Crush score. Boy, you're wasting your time. But let me tell you that it wasn't my fault. You're not my problem. Boy, you got issues. Don't call me.
You said I should have texted you more often. If I would have wanted you to care. But can't you see that I have been busy trying to pretend that I don't care? And you say I should have texted.
Don't hold out for a text that you'll never get. Are you bitter yet, or is it jealousy? Fundamentally, there's nothing you could thread to top my lethargy. A message in a bottle, and that bottle in an ocean, and that ocean is no metaphor for my devotion, but I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy.
And you say I should have texted you more often. If I would have wanted you to care. But can't you see that I have been busy trying to pretend that I don't care?
Phone is always on me.
Hey, what's up, people? I'm back. I was away since Tuesday. I was out of town, making some money. You know, I got to pay some bills and whatnot, so that's why I wasn't online. Now I got a little curious kitty cat in the attic with me. Yes, because I'm in an attic, but the attic's renovated. I mean, it's good. I just got to repaint the walls. I don't like the color that these walls are at the moment. But, you know, I got some pot lights here. I got my carbon monoxide and smoke detector because it's very critical. At your highest level in your house, you should actually have a carbon monoxide alarm because CO is lighter than air. So it typically will, how do you put it? It will concentrate at the highest areas in your home. So I make sure that on each floor, like 6 feet or more above that floor's level is where I will put a carbon monoxide detector. It's extremely critical. Each floor has at least one smoke detector as well. That is also very critical. Do they all trigger if one goes off? No, they don't trigger if one goes off. Would that be a good thing though? Because I'm kind of thinking about it. I don't really see the value in if the one on the highest floor goes off. That would actually be a good idea based on how my house setup is, because if it's going off, it's because typically would be like a furnace or a boiler or like a stove or some type of instrument like that would be creating carbon monoxide due to incomplete combustion, right? So that actually kind of makes sense, Cypher, because typically we don't in Canada we don't store our furnaces in the attic. Some people actually do have furnaces in the attic. They're called low boys or horizontals, because if you don't know, your furnace can actually be set in different orientations. Typically, or in typical orientation is a high boy, which is typically in the basement. Some people actually have it on their ground level, depending on how your setup is, but it's typically in the basement. Another orientation would be a low boy. Um, they're downflow, counterflow, horizontal. Like there's all different types of furnace orientations that people just don't know about. But yeah, good reasoning there. Hi, honey, Miss Honey Bunny, Dabby's wife. How's it going? Welcome, Blue Eyes. Welcome there. Oh, they had two bunnies, one called Honey and the other called Bunny. That's cute. All right. We're gonna get into this. So DLF had a job interview, I guess, with photography. Seriously, what? How does he? Okay, I can understand if you do YouTube and you're pretty good with like cinematography, that might translate into photography skills. Typically, it doesn't, because it's like a different niche, right? Just because you're a good photographer doesn't mean you're a good videographer. And just because you're a good videographer doesn't mean that you could translate into being a good um, photographer. So we'll see what it. And plus, what kind of camera? Shit, I have better cameras than DLF. I have like I have way better cameras than DLF. I have a Canon T5, which is like not that great. I have a Sony Alpha A6400. I mean, it's okay, right? And I believe like my Sony Alpha A7 is lying somewhere around here. But those cameras are really good. What kind of camera does DLF even have to even make any type of work? Because if you're gonna be hired for a photography job, aren't they gonna ask to see your portfolio, like examples of your work? I mean, that would make a lot of sense to me, right? Hey, Egitos, how's it going? All right, well, let me get into this. We'll see. I kind of was watching this because I just was at the gym. That's why this was at 1:30 rather than like 11:30. I had to go to the gym after work. I wasn't going to the gym in the last couple of days, and that kind of throws me off my typical cycle, which today was like arms and chest. Then I got to do like midsection abdominals and whatnot. What was your camera? Sony Alpha 6400 and Sony A7. Sony Alpha A7. Plus, I have a Canon T5. The T5 back in the day was a really good camera, but you typically would have a T5 now as a photographer as one of your backups. Like as any decent photographer would have at least one backup camera, which, if your camera dies, it falls, you get broken. If you're at a wedding, you can't pause the wedding, right? You gotta keep it pushing. And if you're gonna keep it pushing, that means if your stuff gets broken, you better have a backup, else you're screwed, right? Did you see his second stream? I did not. What happened, Skywalker? Oh, is it the second stream where he did like a day ago and he was like showing weed at a library? Which, I mean, it's so egregious. You don't do that. You don't be in the library showing off your narcotics. Is that what he was put in the? Are you serious? Okay, I missed it. So he was putting the Dicky Doos on the library computer, which I literally stated, dude, do not do that, because if you do that, it actually might be a federal crime, depending on certain dynamics. Because I'm not sure if this library is part of or inside a federal building, or whether or not there's any type of federal incorporation with the libraries in New York State. Because if you do that, you are screwed. And he really did that. Okay. Anyways, you know what? I'm just gonna get into this. You tell me more, Skywalker, because I'm surprised, but not really that surprised.
All right, kiddies.
Yeah, the Sony Alphas are very compact, like mirrorless type of cameras. They're really good. You should try them out. They're expensive though.
It's Dragon Lord Frudo. Oh, come on, Willie.
What? So you went to the gym yesterday. You went to Delaware, a king in Portland, butt ass naked dude walking around, cock out and all. I mean, it's just another Toronto Saturday. Oh, oh, oh. It's another downtown Toronto Monday. Oh, oh, oh. That's old news, Cypher. That's just normal these
So
days.
yesterday I had this job interview. And it actually seemed like it was something I could do. It actually seemed like something that would be a good fit for me. Considering, the amount of pay and all that. It's this job. Now
Wild
here's the
Cypher.
thing, okay? I went to this job interview yesterday. The job interview.
The rundown on Bally's missed trip. Well, Bally maybe kind of sort of was thinking of coming to Toronto. If she did, I mean, I'd pick her up. If she didn't, then I guess I wouldn't pick her up from the airport. But the thing is, she didn't come to Toronto, so I didn't have to pick her up from the airport. That's the rundown. Did she say anything else? She is going to Europe, though, for sure, 100%. She's told me, so we shall see.
I'm not gonna say the name of the company, but basically what I would be doing is I would be working in this warehouse, okay? And in the warehouse they have shelves of like they have like rolls of like fabric, okay? So they have like I don't know, it's like a roll of fabric. They roll it up. And what I would be doing is I would be taking these rolls of fabric and laying them out, and then taking pictures of the rolls of fabric. They have this really nice like DSLR.
I was actually gonna say that they probably have a camera at the job site where he can use, but they still do want you to be pretty familiar. But it depends on how familiar, because you could be like beginner level, intermediate, or advanced, because you can play it a lot with lighting, and lighting does make or break a picture. Plus, your aperture settings, you got to really know how to adjust your shutter and whatnot. So there is literally a science to this, which I'm not that great of a camera person, but I know enough that you need to know enough of that to make a photo a lot better. What the hell does DLF know? Does he even know about DSLRs? Has he ever had a DSLR?
Camera that that I would be using. So I'll be doing.
Well, if Fish and Eggy, if Bally ever comes to Toronto, I will treat her to some feet pedicures. We can go to the Scarborough Bluffs. We can go to Niagara Falls. We can do a whole lot of things. In fact, there's a powwow happening as we speak, but it's kind of rainy in the Toronto area, and the area that the powwow is supposed to be, even though it's an indoor powwow, which I was thinking of still going. But if it's indoor and stuff, it's not the same vibe. It's not the same feel as like a late spring and summer, powwow. So I guess I will not go today. Or maybe I will, who knows?
Doing like photography and shit. And I kind of forgot to tell them at the interview that like during my high school years, I used to do like a photography class, um, where I would actually like develop film and shit.
Oh yeah.
And we would go into the fruit belt.
Well, there's no film to develop here.
And they have this place on Locust Street on
It's a
the
digital
fruit
camera.
belt. I forget the name of it. I think it's just called like Locust Street Art or some shit like that. I don't remember.
All right, let me look this
But
up.
they have like
Locust Street,
they
Buffalo.
have you set it up and then you have to it's like data entry and then you have that's what I'd be doing all day.
Submarine?
Taking down these rolls of fabric, taking pictures of it, making sure it looks nice, the whole bit. And inputting the data from the fabric into the computer and all that shit. So at the interview yesterday, they were telling me, and I can actually tell when an interview
Is going
I
well.
can kind of tell when they're interested in hiring me and when they're not and all that. Because like sometimes like I'll go to a job interview and then all of a sudden they'll just cut me off and say, "All right, that's what we got today." And then they'll say something. Then they'll say some bullshit like, "Well, we got we got a bunch of other
Hey, fish. The thing about DLF is he always walks with his schlong out. Did you see this man's stuff? It looks like female genitals is what his stuff looks like. I gotta tell you, DLF, if I ever was you, I don't know what I'd do to myself. I'd have to get that surgery where you like get like a cadaver dick and they like sew it on, and then you gotta take like, you know, what's it called, those pills where you can't reject foreign tissue for the rest of your life. I think I'd have to do that. Hey, did I tell you guys that story about this prawn star guy that had the cadaver dick, but he didn't really pay that much attention to taking his meds routinely, so his body rejected it, so he had like a little hollow stump for where his cock was supposed to be. That's what that's the price of fame, I'm telling you. If you really need a cadaver dick, like somebody's dick on top of your dick, which I mean is kind of weird at the same time, but you gotta keep up on your meds.
the people we gotta talk to first, and we'll get back to you, or something like that." But
Oh,
I
nice,
went
Cypher.
there and
Congrats.
they actually like showed me around. It was like an hour-long interview. And actually got to do a little bit of the work, just to try it out.
Fish, what? What kind of weirdo does that? Who would steal somebody's dead cock to put it on their cock? Wait, where are you going to steal a cock? You going in the morgue? You're stealing guys' dicks at the morgue? You being a dick thief at the morgue? Like, that guy has a big dick. I'm gonna steal it. Like, that guy has a big dick. Let me steal that dick.
I'm like, yeah, this seems kind of simple and easy to me. I can do this. They pay $15.50 an hour, and it's 20 hours a week. I actually redid. My finances. I can actually, if I'm working like 20 hours a week, I can make on I found out if I'm working 20 hours a week, I can make up to 19.25 a week, or an hour. I'm sorry. I can make up to $19.25 an hour at 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Now the thing with Creature Comforts, though, it wasn't that I was picking up extra hours.
Here we
See,
go
that's what
again.
Monty doesn't understand. It wasn't that I was picking up extra hours. The problem I was having was that I was working my regular, normal, I was probably working like, I don't know, I was only working like 3 days a week over at Creature Comforts, but
Okay, whatever he says, the bottom line, no matter what it is that he was working more hours than he's allowed to work. Whether it's working over your set hours, you're picking up hours, you're working full time rather than part time. Bottom line, he was working more hours than he's allowed to based on what his social worker or workers should have told him the hours he should be working. Well, I guess he figured it out. 15 something per hour at what, like 15 or 20 hours a week?
the problem is that they always used to give bonuses. They had like anytime a holiday would come up, they'd always schedule me on the holiday.
Well, shouldn't you know that on a
Which
holiday you
means
get time and a half?
Which means that on a holiday they would pay like time and a half, like overtime.
Hello. This is standard working policy here, DLF. Almost all places, not all, but almost all places will pay a worker time and a half if you work on like a holiday. How does this man not know this?
It's like overtime pay if you work on a holiday, which I was just like, oh my god. But it would be like they also had this fucking policy over at Creature Comforts where it was like
This policy of paying you time and a half when you work on holidays. You mean this common policy where like everybody else does the same thing?
you can't take off 10 days before or 10 days after a holiday or some shit like that. And like if you actually look into it, like when holidays are and shit, you're basically all the time is in one of those periods, except
Right.
maybe in like August or something. I think August is like the only month that doesn't have a fucking holiday in it, isn't it? I don't know, but because it's like, remember, it's like Christmas and it's like right at the end of the year and then into the new year. It's always like that like fucking month where it's just nothing but fucking holidays. Because you got Christmas and then exactly a week later it's New Year's.
Well, that policy is because a lot of people would try and, get, Christmas off or, the holidays off all the time. Like there's a lot of people that do that stuff where, they don't care that their work needs them. They just want to go away. They'll go away for like in Canada, a lot of people will get May 2-4 off, which is the unofficial start of the summer. Victoria Day weekend, is really big thing that a lot of people try and get off. And of course, here will be July the 1st in the States is July the 4th. And then, a lot of people do this stuff. He should have traded some shifts. Yeah, I mean, trade some shifts. The cat is sexually... Really? Which cat? His cat? Or somebody else's cat? What's up, Luke?
And then another week later, it's like Martin Luther King Jr. So that was my problem over a creature come farms, was that it wasn't really the rate of pay or the amount of hours. Like they told me at Social Security that you were going over, but it wasn't really that much. But I figured it out again, and uh, because I because the problem is that what I really didn't realize is it doesn't go by when you get paid, it goes by when you work. So for example, if I get a job and I get a job like maybe like a week.
Ooh, 1775. Speaking of coffee, no, I had some stuff queued up. I didn't want to click it. All right. Speaking of 1775 coffee, I actually bought some new Timmy's coffee, and I was like, damn. There's actually I went to shop earlier, and there on the shelves there's a lot of like companies appealing to like Canadian only stuff. I mean, is that happening in the States where you guys are not like taking our maple syrup? And Tip Top has 23 cats. 23. Holy shit. That is a lot of cats. That's a Jordan amount of cat. Get it? 23 Jordan. You dare me to sniff under DLF's armpits? I mean, I'd pass out. It's kind of like you dare me to sniff between Foodie Beauty's ass cheeks. It's like the same thing. It's like daring me to like sniff Pizza's bathroom right now. I'm gonna pass out. You ever see that meme where like the monkey like puts his fingers in between his ass, then he sniffs it, then he passes out, and he like falls off the branch?
Before the new month. So you know how it's like the first time you get paid from a job, it's like it takes like it takes like two pay periods to get your first check or whatever. So if I get a job and I work like the last week of a month, okay, and I end up getting paid sometime in the next month, at the beginning of the next month or whatever, that pay is counted toward the month before because it's not when you get paid, it's when you work.
I love that DLF is explaining to people who work how pay works when you actually have to work, because we just totally don't understand that DLF, that our pay is behind by a 1 or 2 week margin depending on how often you get paid. But thank you for explaining that to me.
Okay. So like if I work a week and it's like the last 2 days of a month and I'm working and then part of the work week like bleeds into the next month like that.
Cool.
Only those
Nice.
2 days at the previous month are counted for that month, and anything else is counted for the next month. So after you realize that, and remember what I was saying, it was like I have to take into consideration. Remember, I kept saying I have to take into consideration. You know, some months have like 5 weeks in them, and I realized that like I was taking that into consideration for no reason because it doesn't matter because it all depends on when you work and not when you get paid. So like if you're not going to get paid like let's say you get paid weekly, you know, it's not gonna really affect it if there's like, you know, 5 Fridays in a month, you know.
You can't imagine what that spunk blanket smells like. Sometimes I think about that, then I don't, because I know if I like blacklight the place, it would literally look like a Jackson Pollock painting. With his splashy splashes all over. Because you know what he does? You know how Jackson Pollock does the whole brush thing where he splashes the paint on? It'll look just like
It
that.
just all gets counted toward that month. So
Right, yeah, he has this huge conversation. Let's go. Let's see if he says anything else. Let's go.
and there's gonna be Dicky Doo all over.
Okay, Dicky do all over. I like where this conversation's going. Let me go back.
About me showing my Dicky Doo when I stand up.
Oh
like
my
that.
god, I had a heart attack. Holy shit. I thought it was gonna flash. He flashes Dicky do. Does he flash it? He better not.
Okay. No, I'll figure it.
Monty, have you ever thought of becoming a 1970s prawn star if you grew a mustache? I was thinking that. I was thinking of growing a mustache for Halloween. I could be Cameo. At one point I thought Cameo was just like one guy, but it's actually a group. The front runner for Cameo that he used to wear like that red jock strap, and he'd have like the see-through shirt, like that mesh see-through, like it's like mesh or sheer. It's more sheer than mesh actually, and it would be see-through. I'd be like, like Cameo. You know who I'm talking about, right? Or I was thinking that I could totally do it.
Figure it out again. Monty's over it. Oh, you make me nervous. You make me nervous whenever you get up because you're gonna show your Dicky Doo. And I'm like, okay, well then maybe that's a sign that maybe I shouldn't be trusted.
Yeah, you're
For
not
you
trusted.
to, yeah, it's $310. Maybe that's a sign I shouldn't be trusted.
Uh-oh.
And you maybe should be doing my videos. If you're that worried about me showing my Dicky Doo when I stand up like that,
Oh.
then maybe it's time to give it a rest with my videos.
All right, this is like Batman and Superman. It's like, DLF, you don't want me to do your videos. Then when I'm not doing your videos, then you come into my chat and ask me, why aren't I doing your videos? You remember that scene with Batman versus Superman, or is it Superman versus Batman, where Superman goes to Batman and he's like, you don't want me alive, you don't want me dead. Which one is it? This is the same question you gotta ask you, DLF, because there's been times where I stopped doing your content and you would literally hound the crap out of me to do your content. So what's it gonna be? Am I gonna be doing content, or am I not gonna be doing content?
Okay. Maybe start doing.
You couldn't fulfill that quick stand-up motion. You see how skinny his legs are? You see how his skin is stretched out along his like gluteus minimus and maximus, and it's all like flabby and foldy in his asshole. Have you ever seen him turn around? Like, he showed it once.
Doing foodie beauty again.
You know what it looks like? His folds around his booty hole looks like a woman that's just given birth to like triplets.
Okay. Because remember, I have no morals. I show my dick in public. I don't give a shit.
At least he says it, and he's not in jail yet doing that.
And yes, we are going to edit some videos at the library, and there's going to be Dicky Doo all over.
And as my friend just said at the start of this chat, that he actually did that. Skywalker OG says that he was flashing them on screen, the Dicky Doos, at the library. Why isn't this man in jail yet if he's been doing that? He's been putting Dicky Doos on the library computer. Holy shit, once them laws get the hold of this. Holy crap.
I hope you realize this, Monty. Which reminds me, I gotta start prepping I gotta start.
Wait a second. Yeah, that is a dangerous statement to say, Eggy. You can't be saying stuff like that. You know the cops don't have nothing better to do than censor what you say on the internet, then come to your house and give you a caution. That's what they do these days in the States. I've been keeping up with my Gordy Shore, because you know how we have Jersey Shore in the States. There's Gordy Shore over there. But I believe Eggy, aren't you in Scotland? Because it's different. It's kind of like how Canada has like Ontario and the rest of Canada, and then there's Quebec. It's kind of like that in the UK. There's like Wales, there's England, there's everything. Then there's Scotland, because Scotland is a whole different legal process when it comes to going to Scotland and getting people from Scotland back into England proper.
Start prepping my U.S.
Yeah, it's similar, but the law is and can be different in Scotland. I've also learned that from watching a lot of Brits. They were speaking about how a lot of people, when they want to like f around and find out and they get into trouble, they run to Scotland because Scotland's laws could be described as strange. And maybe that's not a good word to say, but I don't want to say archaic. It would be more strange. It's just different set of rules and laws where it's harder to extradite or pull people from Scotland based on what they've done.
Be flash drive for Thursday. We're doing another live stream at the library on Thursday, and I'm
Is he
actually
still?
thinking of getting something a little bit different this time around.
Is he still on probation? I believe not, but I guess I could maybe try and confirm that. I think he's been off. Is he off? Yeah, I believe so. But let me confirm that. I'm pretty sure, like 99.9999% sure.
Maybe getting instead of those fucking weed drinks, instead of smoking weed, they have at the dispensary, they have packages of gummies, and they also have like chocolate bars and shit. So maybe we could try those for once. See how those are. I don't think I ever had weed chocolate. I've had the gummies, but I don't think I've ever had the chocolate. So I was looking it up, and they said that anything past 20 milligrams of weed is considered a high dose.
Okay.
And I'm like,
And
oh boy. I've done 500 milligrams in one sitting at times.
slow clap. Big boss man.
No, my dealer, my old dealer, I should say. Oh, that guy was great, but he moved to Florida. But he was selling.
Everybody's moving to Florida. Shit, even I'm a Florida man.
He was selling gummies for like $20. Was it 20? I forget. He was selling gummies and vapes. Any vape you want was like $20, and any fucking package of candy was $20. That was just it. I was like, fuck it. And I used to get like all. I don't really like doing the vapes anymore. I don't know. I think the vapes. Oh, you like hearing me fucking cough on those on smoking? The vapes I think are worse.
Oh boy.
Those vapes will make you. I don't know. They'll make you cough. like they say it's like less harsh than the smoking. I'm like, no.
Yeah, typically it's less harsh unless you're having like a cartridge or some really harsh stuff. But yeah, vaping, smoking, um, people like almost all people would say, yeah, it's way less harsh than smoking a bud like a flower.
Like I do a vape and I'm coughing for like days, and it's like hacking up coughing, and I'm like, I don't know about that anymore. Um, no. So what was I saying? Oh, that job I was
What's my favorite vegetable? Punani.
talking about. The only downside to it all is that it is kind of in a fucking rough neighborhood. It's like it's like I'm not gonna say what the name of the place is, but if anyone knows Buffalo and anyone know Buffalo, there's a area of Buffalo where Walden Avenue, Genesee,
Listen, Dabby's wife, I like my punani no seed, okay? Stop it.
Best, and I think Sycamore, they all like cross, and there's like a family doll hair over there as well. That's not the one I worked at though. Yeah, the where I would be working would be like over there somewhere. It's like on this little side street.
Yeah, who likes that fish with mayonnaise? Mayonnaise?
Off Genesee, where it's like all fucking dirty. It's like, no.
Remember when Foodie almost died? She took her first hit off that huge glass bong, right? That was the time she kept on buying a lot of stuff. She was buying that can of butter machine. She had the bong that allegedly, supposedly, Nads bought for her, but she bought it for herself, right? And she had something else. I think she was trying different vapes, right? So all of that money just went down the drain. I don't. There needs to be a study on people who do this sort of stuff, just waste their money, and then you got to look back like you could have saved all of that. Because yeah, I could go out right now and screw around, buy myself all types of like Ace of Spades, champagne, and alcohol, and go around partying every single day and just waste all of my money. But I don't, because I got to think about the future. I can't just be wasting it all. Like Foodie Beauty could have had a lovely setup. She was in the right place at the right time when mukbangs were taking off back in like 2015, 16, 17, and some of 2018. There's been a lot of people who've caught waves. Some people have caught the music wave. Other people have caught the mukbang wave. Some people have caught the bread tube wave. Who is DLF trying to compete with? Himself or me? I don't know sometimes.
Oh, it's just like all warehouses. Like there's like
How much money? How much is enough money? I would never say I'd splurge, but even billionaires hold back. I mean, you gotta consider when something is necessary versus when it's not. I mean, even if I had like $20 million, I would not be splurging. I wouldn't be having all sorts of like crazy ideas and private jet planes and stuff like that. It's like, is 20 million enough to have a private jet plane? Me thinks not, but some people might think so. And that's why a lot of people who win the lottery go broke in a couple years, because they've never had that much money and they don't know how to resist the temptations of just buying all types of crap.
there's a
All right, I'm skipping this.
U-Haul. There's a U-Haul place around there.
I become Musk.
So, like, after my interview, I got out.
I think Musk is trying to change humanity. Is my understanding. He's trying to change the course of humanity, and he already has, in many ways, changed the course of humanity. I mean, the proliferation of Teslas all around the world is a statement towards that, as well as SpaceX is putting astronauts on, the International Space Station. Which private company have you ever heard of that has done that? Like, he's already changed the world. I think he's just trying to push humanity to where he wants humanity to be. Whether or not that is when Star Trek like, or what's the dystopia? I don't know. Maybe it be dystopian if we work under the chagrin of multinational companies, because it might be like that. We could be in like, could you imagine like the United States of like McDonald's versus, like, I don't know, United States of Ford, because Ford's a huge company, while other companies are like United States of Microsoft. Like, have you ever thought about that? How these or multinational conglomerates could take over the world and stuff like that. The ISS is coming down soon, right? Okay,
And
fine. Outside of freaking NASA, who else have you known? Which private company have you known to shuttle astronauts to the ISS? Because I just saw that on the news. I'm like, wow, okay, so he has a company where he's dealing with, pushing humans into outer space because that's their mission, right? Okay, fine. Russia.
I had
Outside of Russia, okay, listen, Cypher, you better stop it.
I ended up taking a walk to Family Doll
BlackRock.
Hair
Yeah,
over
BlackRock's
there
a huge company.
because I got like soap and some fucking toothpaste, tooth
Speaking of
paste
BlackRock,
and
$1 trillion
shit.
company.
I didn't know you brush your teeth. And that's what my mom said. That's what my mom said. Oh, you brush your teeth? Yeah, Mom, I brush my teeth like 6 times a day. My mom doesn't understand this. My parents don't understand this.
Oh,
Okay?
that would be really cool, wouldn't it? Like having a piece of history, like anything on the ISS, you could, maybe sell or make your way into the home. That would be so awesome.
My parents don't get it that I don't brush my teeth when I'm over at their house.
What?
And that's because my parents have this thing where I had a toothbrush for myself over there at one point where like I would go over there and they'd have a toothbrush there for me and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But what my parents would do is they would feel the end of the toothbrush to see if it was wet.
What?
And then if it wasn't wet, you didn't brush your teeth. And then I'm just like, all right, now I'm not gonna brush my teeth because now you're touching my toothbrush.
So wait, I didn't get it for a second. So they touch the end of your toothbrush to make sure that it's wet, which would signify to them that you actually brush your teeth. But when they touch it and it's dry, that means you most likely didn't brush your teeth. I just got that. Okay. I mean, DLF, you are autistic, which, I mean, there's a lot of people who are autistic and still functioning. In fact, it's a whole spectrum, right? There's different levels of functioning for people with autism. Some function better than others. Some don't need help. Some need a little help. Some need a lot of help. Can I say anything about that? I mean, out of the ordinary if you do have an autistic child to make sure that they are brushing their teeth, they're, feeding themselves, they have clothes, they're warm. I wouldn't think so.
I had to bring my own toothbrush. I had to bring my own toothbrush from home and use my own and keep it hidden from them. Because they would sit there and they would touch the end of the fucking toothbrush to see it. Like they do that. That's just the shit that my parents do. Okay? Like, why would you even do that?
Where did he go with his toothbrush?
It's like fucking nasty. I don't know where your fucking fingers have been. I
will.
Why would you do that? My parents think that.
You know what? They should kind of consider where his toothbrush has been. You know what I was seeing? Okay, never mind that. But I mean, people use toothbrush for all sorts of stuff. Actually, I use toothbrush, the older ones, to like polish. I remember when I was growing up, I used to polish and shine my shoes with my older toothbrush, like having like Nike Air Force Ones. I would have like all white, then we'll have like white with black, which are called like pandas, and different types, right? And then I know using toothbrush to like clean my rims these days, it's a really good brush that you don't have to pay a whole lot of money for, which I could throw away, but then I just gather them and I will clean my rims and whatever. Can you blow out the crotch? Not? No, it stays. I was hoping that actually no, I wasn't hoping that anybody says anything because now all your eyes are on it. Holy shit. You know what that looks like? That looks like, when you ladies has like a vibe, like a rose or something in, and you guys are acting like you don't. That's what it looks like. It looks like he has a lady part, and then he has like a vibrator there pleasuring himself.
They have like this
right, Marie? You
system
clean rings
of
with the
catching
toothbrush.
me and doing shit. But in reality, all it does is it just like
Look.
I think I'll just bring my own. I think I'll just bring my own toothbrush and take it with me when I'm gone, when I leave, and keep it on me at all times. Like that whole thing with just try to thief, okay? By asking, that's a hot little girl.
Oh my god, please, not any more of this bullshit where you talk about your uncle and what your uncle said, and then you talk about your dad and whatnot. Let's go for it. I don't want to hear the whole birds and bees.
What medications I'm on for my mental health. It is none of their fucking business. In fact, in one, I think let me see if I can find it. My lawyer sent me the paperwork to my email.
Monty's in trouble. His lawyer's on me now. On my ass. He's gonna cease and desist me.
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it, but
what medications is he on? He is supposed to be on a whole rack of medications, Fish, but he just never takes them because from his viewpoint, he doesn't need medications. A lot of people that need medications will say they don't need medications when clearly they do. Right, Doc?
he sent me some paperwork
You should be on a shitload of meds. He just doesn't take them. Which
And
I've always said, people don't take them because they feel weird, right? It makes them feel super weird, which I get, but still, you should be taking your meds because that's what they're there for. They're supposed to have some corrective properties. Right, fish? Oh my god, that reminds me of an episode with like, I don't know, was it Keeping Up with the Jeffersons? Like you like buy fruits and veggies, you bury them and then act or you act like you are digging them up, then you wash them off and pretend that you grew them. People actually do that. Like they brag or they'll have like, I don't know, what's those meal prep places where you get your meal sent to your house like one meal every single day or you'll have it like for a week of meals. Like there's lots of them. Like Hello Fresh is one. Chef's Plate is another. Factor Meals is one. There's like so much of these. You know how people will do that? Then they'll act like they actually made it themselves, or they'll feed it to you, but like, hey, I just made this. Like, no, you didn't.
I don't feel like looking it up. But he sent me some fucking paperwork that my parents did for this case, and on it it says he's refusing medication as far as we know. Oh, okay. As far as you know, which means when was the last time you've been in my apartment, Ma? It has been 15 years. What? Because I don't announce what medications I'm on. That
Gregory.
means I don't take medication.
Yeah, like that. Hopefully, somebody's enjoying at the at the luxury villa at HelloFresh. Because I would. If it's still being sent there, it probably is being sent there. And hopefully somebody has been eating these meals and it's not being thrown out. The amount of HelloFresh that gets sent all over like North America and it isn't eaten is just completely atrocious.
You're a fucking idiot. It's none of your damn business what I'm on, and it's none of the judge's business what I'm on. That information is between me and my therapist and God. Okay? It's none of your damn business how I treat my diabetes. You have no say in it. So shut the hell up. It is none of your damn business. It is none of their business what my blood sugar numbers are. It is none of their fucking business. It is none of their business where I go to therapy or what medications I take. Again, none of their damn business. Okay? And
Yikes.
I don't know why they feel entitled to that information. What's today? Tuesday? That means the library is going to be open till 8. It is 6:27 p.m. I got to take back a movie.
Oh shit! 6:27 p.m. on a Tuesday. Man, I was out of town by then. Oh boy, it's been like a crazy last few days. I did get a lot done though. A lot of stuff done on the books and off the books, if you know what I mean, or should I say on the time card versus off the time card. I can't believe it's a Saturday already because he is irresponsible. He is. He's completely irresponsible. Not checking his blood pressure, not eating properly, not doing a lot of stuff to take care of himself, not taking care of his finances to a good extent. There's a lot of stuff that DLF isn't doing.
I watched this movie, was it called Return of the Living Dead? It was called Return of the Living Dead Necropolis. It was kind of dumb. I watched the other ones. The first one I thought was the best. The second one was okay. The third one was like, I don't know. It was like a fucking zombie love movie.
Oh man.
Love story kind of thing.
Yeah, sometimes I really don't like when they do that. They incorporate like the zombie with a love story. I'm like, can we just have like zombies and not have a love story sometimes? But I totally get it how you gotta cater to like your different audiences on how their brain will work and pay attention and then like these movies, which then based on that understanding, I get why a lot of film companies, media companies do it the way they do.
The third one was kind of weird. It was like
How is he smooth
I
down
don't
there?
know.
Because he's got like lady parts as privates. That's what he does. Is that a trick? There's no trick. He has a stub for a dick. That kind of rhymes.
The girlfriend
Maybe I do it better. Like there's no trick. He's got a stub that he calls a dick.
becomes a zombie or some shit. I don't know. And then I watched the one that the Necropolis, and that was basically just like a teen zombie movie. It was kind of dumb. I watched the Lucio Fulci.
What? What the hell, fish? What the hell is this about?
Zombie movie.
What the hell? You were so embarrassed. So you thought he was Italian, but he told you he was Chinese? Really? Holy shit. I mean, was he joking?
Oh, that was terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pope Matthias Papsmear. Lucio Fulci's Zombie was a shitty movie. It was terrible. Okay? Oh, that movie was so fucking stupid.
Okay.
It was good. It's considered.
I'm trying to find Fulci's movie. Lucio Fulci died March 13th, 1996. Let's go to movies. Zombie, 1979. Oh, no shit, it's gonna be shit. It's made in 1979. Then there's Zombie 3, 1988. Yeah, that's gonna be shit. I'm not watching a zombie movie from 88. They probably have like, clay like stand-ins where they'll like rip it apart and it looks super whack. I'm not watching that crap.
They're one of the best horror movies ever.
I want to see realistic stuff.
Yeah, we're all.
You know what's kind of corny but was actually good at the same time? Terrifier. I watched Terrifier about 2 weeks ago. Terrifier 1, 2, and 3, plus the prequel. Well, technically there's 2 prequels, but the second prequel isn't truly a prequel. So you could just say only one.
Right. It was one of the shittiest zombie movies I've ever fucking seen. Okay? I was just so bored. And Pope Matthias Papsmear wants me to watch Black Christmas. I'm dreaming of a black Christmas. Hey, Monty.
Ew, that is so nasty.
Oh, and Monty, I didn't put I didn't put my Dicky Doo as a thumbnail. That was all Rumble.
That was Rumble.
You could blame Rumble for that. In
No,
fact,
nasty.
In fact, I think I'm gonna go I think I'm gonna go, and when I go to the library, I think I'm gonna change the thumbnail on that. I don't know.
I actually checked his channel out today, thinking maybe I could do a DLF reaction, and I did. That's what we're doing right now. But I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if his channel was removed, especially when he has his dicky doo out looking like a woman's genitals there. Oh my god, I just something just went in my mind, but I shouldn't do that. Was that a brown Christmas? That was a very wet, wet, sloppy brown Christmas cipher. I like that. I like that. That's actually pretty good. Can I use that? Like when somebody farts, we're like, is that a brown Christmas?
What I'm gonna change it to? I don't know.
Can you imagine how many? You know what? DLF's video with him with his dicky doo out got a unusually high amount of clicks, and I know there's a lot of horny guys. Did they really think that this man was truly a woman showing her privates? I mean, kind of possible. Wait a second. You know what? There was something else. There was something else. Who said that they thought it was Mama Scrunch? Mama Scrunch thought that Foodie Beauty was DLF dressing up as a woman. I still can't get over that. Like she actually thought that. I mean, can you imagine?
I don't know what I'm gonna change it to. I'll just fucking pick. I'll just pick like a. Where's Willie? Oh, there he is. Hi. Maybe I'll just get a picture of Willie and put it up. No, cause what it is, it's like with it's just like YouTube. Like when you upload a video and you don't have a custom thumbnail, they'll just Rumble just put a thumbnail, like their own fucking thumbnail up, and it's weird. It just so happens. I think they have some kind of algorithm or something that will pick out certain things. Because I know one time when I uploaded a video to YouTube. Remember I had that thing where I would splice in like Donald Trump when I would talk about
What?
ripping babies out of the womb or whatever, and then I'd splice in a Donald J. Trump saying that during a debate. Sometimes if I have a video where I spliced in Trump, it'll actually make that part the thumbnail. So I think it has to do with ever notice they sometimes take like they always
He is running the pub, Eggy. It's called Heaven, where everybody knows your name. Boom, 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 boom. And they're always glad you came. Boom, boom, boom. You want to be where
they never
everybody
just take a
knows
picture
your
of me
name.
just sitting there. It's always like me doing some kind of gesture or something. I think they just. But
All right, wait a second. Let me go for it here. Is he grabbing on his crotch? He is grabbing on his crotch. We're gonna go for it a little bit.
one of those. It's like Knives Out.
He is touching it totally.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi plays
Speaking of like Obi-Wan
Kenobi plays the
I need to see Obi-Wan like season 2 come out. Have you heard from PG? I have actually. She came back like nothing happened. Eerily a lot sooner than I would think, because typically when I do the outing of PG, she takes a couple days off, maybe a week tops, if that. But she came back quite. She's never okay, Eggy. What does that even mean? That is so very out there. Is she okay? What does that even mean? Is she like normally not okay, or is she okay as in she's not normalized? Because that's two different things.
The blind butler.
Obi-Wan, the show sucked. I actually liked it.
And also,
What do you mean it sucked? You didn't think that that Sith Lord was like, oh my god, that Sith Lord was like, it was cool. And then you do the whole helmet thing to like knock the crystal out of phase, and then your lightsaber goes out for like a few seconds. You didn't think that was cool? I'm like, shit, you could totally fight like that. What's it called again? Like that spear in the Mandalorian was made of it. Beskar, right? It's Beskar. I'm like, that is really cool that you could use Beskar like that. Could you imagine like if you had like a Beskar axe or a hammer and you just like you hit one of those lightsabers, it goes out. You do like force shit. You don't even need a lightsaber. You just have like a Beskar sledgehammer, just like railing people down.
Columbo is in there.
I should honestly, Dabby's wife, the meme should come up like, oh my god, I'm about to bust. That is so me when I saw that. I was like, oh my god. And let me play that meme. 1 second. Give me a second here. I'm gonna play it. It's like, oh my god, I'm about to bust. Oh my, it's like, no, you're not gonna tell me you did not think that scene where he's using the helmet and stuff against, and then he took out, I'm like, that dude was taking out everybody. All the masters, the Jedi masters was getting dusted, dude. You're telling me you weren't thinking of this?
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Let's do that again.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Man, nobody was thinking like this? Come on, stop it. Was that the only one? I was like, holy shit, that was good.
What about Donald Trump's mother?
I wonder if whoever harassed the lawyer was actually her or trolls or both. She harassed the lawyer in a mentally deficient kind of way. And on top of that, there were trolls harassing the lawyer, trying to act like her or trying to say she's doing things. All sorts of like super ridiculous, borderline illegal shit was happening that I think we need to get into maybe another time. But that guy did not deserve any of that because his business specifically caters to a type of business where you cannot have people saying disparaging things about you. You can't have somebody doing slander or libel against you because as a lawyer, half of how skilled you are is based on your reputation. And if people Google your name and shit on the farms come up, that does not bode well. No matter how good of a lawyer you are, and people are saying all these wackadoodle shit, that woman has affected that man's business, I would say, an almost, or you could say essentially, in a bad way, in a very negative way, and nobody deserves that. Nobody. And I talked about this back in 2022 when I said PG is a goddamn stalker. And look what has happened now. Now there is court records about this, and she's not going to stop. She's going to do it over and over and over.
Oh.
All right, let's see what he's looking for.
They say I could get another. They said I could get a $1,000 stimulus if I go and if I do a tax return for 2021. I don't think I did a tax return for 2021 because I didn't even work, so I didn't even like bother. But is there like I have until April? Is there a way you can actually do a file taxes for like a couple years prior?
Do you really have until April to like file your 2021 taxes to get your stimulus check? Is that how they're doing things these days?
I don't know. Maybe I'll try it at the library. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But that's, maybe that'll pay off Mama's. And then we're going to get the Doge checks, which they say is going to be $5,000. My mom's only getting 1,000 of that. Hi. I still gotta get with my boy.
I know you can do back taxes at any point, but is there a stipulation where you have to do your 2021 taxes by April this year to get the stimulus check? Because if you don't, you're out of it. Because then wouldn't that be against certain tax rules? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but then again, it's the states, right? I'm just saying. I don't know. Is that what's going on? I'm gonna look it up. Because I'm not just gonna believe what DLF says.
Because we need to discuss some shit with the lawyer. We gotta discuss why my mom is lying to her lawyer, and why she thinks that I owe her $7,000 and not $3,700 like we agreed on. So my mom has a copy. My mom has a copy of that agreement. The same thing I showed off on camera.
Oh, is it like that's like the carbon tax? You don't get it unless you did the taxes that year for it. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Did he really have? He doesn't have anything. Take care, Marie. Have a good one. See you later.
I had them photocopy it downstairs. Okay. So there's no excuse. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna hope that it was just a brain fart on my mother's end. So, maybe it was just like, oh, I can't remember anymore. $7,000, I don't know. Hopefully that's what it was. But then we got it's funny.
Oh shit, Eggy! I guess you just taught me something. I did not even know that. So, did he really have a Swiss wank account? Okay, at the library. Gotcha. A Swiss wank account is for prawn, i.e., left-handed websites. Okay, can I use that one? That's actually pretty funny. Brown Christmas, Swiss wank account. I'm not sure if it was wanking, but I've been told by credible sources that he was putting certain imagery up at the library, and I've warned him, you can't do that stuff because that could come back to you in major ways. So Skywalker said, "What's up, Monty? Did you see second stream at the library? He was putting the Dicky Doos on the library computer." Yeah, and then I asked him, for real? He's like, Skywalker's like, yes, he was flashing them on screen right before I tuned out too. So he was at a freaking library and was putting prawn up. Why would you do that? Why would you be that silly enough to do something like that? And then when you get caught, you cry and complain that it's never your fault, it's somebody else, blah, 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 blah.
Mother telling my 5-year-old, 4-year-old, whatever daughter that
Thanks,
she
Peggy.
should hook up with a man
Here we
who
go again.
is 7 times her age. Let me catch my father doing that. And then you wonder why I can't bring a kid into this world. I have to worry about my daughter being sold off to a fucking 50-year-old. I have to worry about my fucking 5-year-old daughter being sold off to a fucking 70-year-old.
Oh my god. And while he's pulling on his thing, is he itchy? Yep, he's pulling on his itch. We're gonna go for it here. Oh my god, what is that? Okay.
A hot little girl.
Really? Okay, we're gonna wrap this up, people. You know, it's almost been an hour and a half. We'll do more of this when more stuff comes out. But I can do British slang. Yeah, that is a whole entire stream. I kind of know some Scottish stuff. I mean,
Fucking acting on it.
I kind of know some Irish stuff too. Like if you say that's the crack, that means it's funny. It's a funny situation. Laughter. The crack.
He is fucking acting on it. Saying that Jenna, as a 5-year-old, should be married off to a fucking 60-year-old man.
What's up, Instagram?
That's acting on it. That's pedophilia. To asking his own son, asking his 25-year-old son. Oh, excuse me. Asking his 25-year-old.
What? I thought he did the birds and the beanstalk when you were like 14, 15, 16. You mean you was a grown-ass 25-year-old man having your grown-ass man father trying to do a birds and the beanstalk with you because of what exactly? I always thought this dude had the birds and the beanstalk as a teenager, but it was when he was 25 years old.
Old son, if a fucking 14-year-old is a hot little girl, that's acting on it.
Well, at least somebody's getting Punani Cipher because it's been like, what is it being like? Just over a week now, maybe a week and a day since Jam has been getting Cheeks is Keeks. No, Keeks is Cheeks, not Cheeks is Keeks. Well, maybe that too, but holy shit. Talk about not stopping for a beat. That man went from Keeks coming over and him getting them cheeks to him going over to Keeks to get more of them cheeks.
That's
Wow.
acting on it. He might not be sticking his dick in 5-year-old pussy, but he's
Oh my
thinking
God.
about it.
Gross.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about selling Jenna off to a fucking 80-year-old man, and that's fucking sick. When she was
Why does he always bring this shit up? It's like he's just killing the mood now. We need an SGM stream, Monty. I actually was at the gym, and when I was working out, I was listening to his streams, and he's pretty much, you know, they're both in a relationship, but they're not saying like it is a relationship, kind of acting like teenagers, how they're like, they don't know what this is. It's a fucking relationship, SGM. You're going over to this woman's house. Well, technically her mom's place, but they act like it's really hers. But you're going over to this woman's house, you're having sex with her, and you're talking about moving in with her. You're in a fucking relationship, okay? Don't act like you're fucking 15 and saying you don't know what it is. And I can tell you what it is. It's a relationship.
fucking 5.
How do I work out to ask? No, why you make me look so weird saying it like that? But I did okay. I was working on my biceps, my triceps, my shoulders. I was doing a lot of lat stuff.
That's fucking sick.
Poor chap. Yeah, He has 2 chains from her because the first chain.
You're sitting there thinking about it.
He left the first chain at his place, allegedly, supposedly.
Okay.
So has he lost his job?
The thought is in your mind.
From what I heard, he said that he was laid off for a week when he was over at Keeks's place. So I guess they're kind of slowing down, and it was nice because I wouldn't say it's nice, as in no one really wants to get laid off, but he said that nobody knows what will happen with this trade war. So a lot of, I guess, places aren't ordering vehicles, so the demand is kind of going down. A wait and hold, perhaps, because automotive industries is big on metal going back and forth between the border, which is one of the things where I'm like, this is a bad thing. Like, a trade war is never good because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, which in turn will affect food prices, which in turn affects all of us, every single person, man, woman, child, grandpa, grandma, or a baby. You will get affected by this.
Okay? The thought is in your mind. Anyway, I'm going to go to a library. This is Dragon Lord Frodo, and I approve this message. Thanks in advance for watching this.
Yikes. I thought for a second it was going to pull his dicky-doo out. Did you guys think the same thing? I thought when it was like, this is Dragon Lord Frodo, I thought he was going to totally pull it out and, but he didn't. Anyways, people, we're going to have some more, I guess, conversations, many conversations, in fact. And we'll do a S-Jam catch-up, but S-Jam seems to have himself a relationship of sorts, which, I mean, it's a good match. You got 2 lonely individuals, maybe not in the best places in their lives. Maybe they'll either one for sure pull each other up by the boots, per se, when you really can't pull yourself up by the boots because, your boots are lower than your center of gravity. So therefore, you cannot physically do that. But the saying goes, maybe they will both pull themselves up and make each other better, or they're going to drag each other down. It typically goes one way or the other in those types of relationships. If both people want to do better, then it's great. They'll help each other. If one person, just one, does bad, well, shit, you should just do bad all by yourself. Anyways, thanks again, people. And take care of yourselves. Have a great one. I will see you later. Bye-bye.